Hello, indie authors. Taylor Ellwood here, and today I am going to walk you through a new type of Amazon ad that is now available in the U.S. market only. It's not available in international markets, but it's a sponsored brand campaign ad, and it's basically similar to if you were creating a keyword ad or a category ad or an ASIN ad, except that you're able to do it for multiple books and you're creating basically a landing page of sorts for your books. So I'm going to walk you through how that works now and also talk to you about some of the do's and don'ts that I've discovered already in doing this. I created 3 of them recently, and I had 2 of them rejected and 1 not rejected. Ironically enough, the one that wasn't rejected had one of the same issues as the other 2, but we'll get into that in a moment here. So as you can see here, you have choose your campaign type, you have sponsored products, sponsored brands, and lock screen ads. We're going to go here to the sponsored brands and click continue. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to call this STM. Once it finishes loading up, yeah, STM and 12/1/2020. Anyway, okay, sponsored products. Now, all right, and for this, I'm going to give it a daily budget of $20. I'm starting out small with these because these are new types of ads, so I don't want to necessarily have my budget run up if I'm not, when you're not sure, I always recommend starting small, and $20 is pretty decent. I mean, that's not going to break the bank for you, assuming you've got some money. So in this case, you want to add a minimum of 3 products. They do recommend adding at least 5 to reduce the likelihood of campaign pauses. We're going to go ahead with 3 right now, just because. And really, it should be very clear here that this is really ideal for a series. You want to be doing this for a series as opposed to just like a singular book or only 2 books. Like I wouldn't do just 2 books, I would do a series. And I always recommend picking the one in the order that you want the books to appear. So I'm going to start here with Space-Time Magic Foundations and add it. And then I'm going to go ahead and add Space-Time Magic. And then we're going to go up to here and grab Magical Identity. And so, this is a series. This is a 3-book series right now, and I would say really like for your fiction and all that, you probably want to do you probably want even more. I mean, with nonfiction, I think you could get away with this, but with fiction, I would definitely say you probably want to have 4 or 5 books. And let's click here on Preview Your Landing Page. This actually shows you what your landing page is going to look like for these books, which is nice because then you get an idea as to what it's going to look like. And keep in mind that these are going to be at the top of like a page. So like you're going to see here 1, 2, 3. If people click on it, it's going to take them there, and then they're going to be able to see the buying options for each book. If they click on this one, it'll show that one. If they click on this one, it'll show that one. The one thing I would like to see is if they had like a buy all button here. That would be pretty nice. Hopefully they'll add that, but at this point they don't have it. All right, so we have these 3 here. We've seen what our landing page looks like. Now, we go here and it says author profile picture. You actually have to pick your author picture. Now, as I said, I've already created 3 of these ads. I had 2 of them rejected. And I had like this in here for my nonfiction, and then for my fiction I had like a book cover. They don't want that. They actually want a picture. I don't know why the one book got through, but it did. Or the one ad got through, but it did. So I'm going to go ahead and upload a new picture. And in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and choose a picture of me because that's what they want. And so keep that in mind as well when you're doing your pictures. So In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and grab this one of me small. We'll let it upload. And once it uploads, that's going to be where that picture is. The other thing that you're going to be able to see, oh, it's saying it's too large. Okay, so we need to pick a different one. Also, just to be clear, you can't not use a picture. Like, you have to actually have a picture for this. I'm wondering if I have one even smaller than this, because I don't want to... Well, let's try this one and see. If not, I do have another picture I can use. Okay, perfect. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and click done. That's there. The other thing that you're able to do is you're able to create a headline. And I always recommend with nonfiction, your headline should be something concise that tells people what your nonfiction is going to teach. So in this case, I'm going to say, learn how to get consistent results with space time magic. Okay, so, okay. That's not going to, so learn how to get results. We're going to get rid of the word consistent there. It's too long. So they don't give you a lot of characters. It's like even worse than Twitter. You have to be very concise. And same thing like with your fiction. If you're going to do something with your fiction, which I'm going to show you in a moment here, then that's something that you're going to want to do. Now, it does say optimize your ad. Let Amazon show other products from your landing page if if those are more relevant to the shopper search. In this case, it's all related around the same topic, so I'm going to leave this unclicked. But, I mean, you might keep in mind that you might want to use that. Also, ad preview, this is top of search mobile, and then you can see the desktop as well. So it kind of gives you get to see what this is going to look like on both the mobile and the other thing. So that's pretty nice. So targeting, you can do either product targeting, or you can do keyword targeting. We're going to do keyword targeting. We could do like categories and individual products if we want, and certainly like doing ASINs, you can certainly do that. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and do keyword targeting instead. I just wanted to show you that. If you have questions about how to create those kinds of ads, check out my videos earlier on YouTube that walk you through how to create ASIN ads and category ads. So in this case, we're going to go over to my Excel sheet, and I am just going to lengthen this because it's going to make it easier to find what I want, and go over to the magic keywords. And they're already nice and highlighted. I'm going to copy them, and I am going to go back down to here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Enter List, get rid of broad and exact. I don't ever use broad and exact. Well, I've used broad occasionally. I don't find exact works that well. I mean, because then you have to hope that they're basically using the exact. I tend to find broad or phrase works better. Yeah. Okay. So we've got our keywords in, and I am going to pop in about. I'm going to put this in at 50 cents right now instead of doing $1, just because I want to kind of see how it does with that. And we're going to add the keywords. The reason why I think I can get away with this right now is this is a relatively new Amazon ad, and so a lot of authors probably aren't even touching it yet because they're probably like, well, what is it even supposed to do? And you know what? We use that to our advantage. That's why we want to be early adopters, but we may end up raising the bids as time goes on. Now we're going to go down here, and we're going to click Submit for Review. And when you do that, they then will review it. One thing to keep in mind, most Amazon ads, you're probably used to those ads being like you submit for review and then they just seem to start delivering right away. In this case, I had to wait a couple days. So I think because this is a relatively new type of ad, they are taking their time with launching these out. And so keep that in mind, because you don't want to be too surprised if you don't see anything right away. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we put this here, and as I said, it'll eventually appear in our thing. I already have one ad in there. And just like, I'm going to just show you really quick, just like with the other ads that you have, you can go in and make changes. So once it finishes loading up here, we're going to take a look at that. But you want to keep in mind that you can actually make changes accordingly to the ads. Okay, so now we're going to go to here to our sponsored brand, which is this right here. This just literally launched yesterday, and this is the one that I had created the other day. So it's got a $20 budget. It's not too elaborate, nor do we want it to be. And what you're going to see here is that, just as with other ads, you can make changes accordingly to your ad display. In this case, I have a 6-book series on this one, so that's actually probably better than like a 3-book series. But again, you whatever your series is, you should at least have 3 books. So you're not going to use these ads for 1 book or 2 books. You're going to have at least 3. I am very hopeful about this type of ad, because I think what it'll ideally do is encourage people to sell or to buy entire books or entire series, and that's what we really want. Because when people are buying entire series, then they're buying them in the whole fell swoop, and that's a good thing. So here, I mean, so far we've got this. We've got it at 50 cents right now. We've got a little bit of activity. If I don't see a lot of activity on it within like another day or so, I'll probably raise the bids up a little bit more. Like right now, I've only got like 30 cents. So, we'll see what happens, or 33 cents. But I always like to just kind of see what's actually happening and with these things. So that's basically how to create a product brand ad. And I recommend it because I think it's another way to test out what Amazon can do for you. And again, you can create this for your ads for fiction as well. You basically want to take a similar approach where you at least have 3 books in your fiction series. One thing you do want to watch out for with your fiction series is you might need to watch out for your cover. Like I had my fiction for my zombie apocalypse series rejected because the covers were apparently too violent, which is kind of silly, because it's like, well, that's, people are going to see that, they're going to know it's a zombie apocalypse, and that's what they want to buy. I'm going to try and get it through again just to see what happens, but keep that in mind. And there you go. There you have it. So thank you very much for watching, and see you guys later.